Hey everyone, in this video, I'll be showing you how to do basic aggregations inside Postgres. First, let's create a table. We'll do create table temporary, and inside this, I'll define an integer t and a worker. I'll call it cat for short for category. Once this is created, let me insert a few values into this. These are random values that I'm entering over here. To show you, let me do select star from temp. You'll see the value t has a number where the cat value has a particular character assigned to it. There are some repeated characters in certain rows. For basic aggregations, you have a few operators inside Postgres like count, sum, max, min, or average. I'll show you how to use each one of these. Suppose I wanted a count of all of the rows inside the table. I'll do select count star from temp. This will give me a count of all of the rows which are there. If I wanted to count based upon a certain conditional, basically I wanted to count the rows where the t value is less than 5. I'll do select count star from temp where t less than 5 and put a semicolon, enter. It'll show me that there are only 4 rows where count the value of t is less than 5. I can add multiple conditionals using AND operators or OR operators. I'm taking a count of line items where t is greater than 5 and the cat value is set to a. As you can see, there are only 2 values in from the original list. Similarly, the other operators are pretty self-explanatory. Sum would sum up all of the values based on the aggregation. Like over here, wherever the value of t is greater than 5, I'll sum the value of t, which results in us getting 40 over here. The max and minimum give us the maximum and minimum values. Over here, 10 is the maximum value greater than 5, where t is greater than 5, so it came up over here. If we do min, it will come up as 6. Average will be giving you the average value of the particular key that you have selected over here. Over here, the average of all of the values above 5 summed up together and divided by that number would give you 8. These are basic aggregations inside Postgres. Now, to go further, what we can do is, suppose you wanted to get a count of each category which is present. Let's take, for example, I do select star from temp. Suppose you wanted to count all of the line items which have A as the value over here, and then also get the same count for B, for C, that is grouped by all of the specific individual categories that you have. How do we do this? We can do select cat count star as cat count. I'm just giving this an alias to make this easier to read. From temp, group by cat. So you're grouping by the specific property that you want to group, and you can, after you give it an alias, you can easily order by it. So you can get the overall sequence in an ordered set. As you can see, A and B, both of them have been repeated 3 times. Similarly, A has been repeated 3 times, and so on. You can also pair this up with conditionals. Take, for example, I can do select cat count as cat count from temp where t greater than 5. So the conditional needs to come after the from clause with a where clause. It needs to come before the group by. This is just how the syntax is. After you have put up the conditional, you group by the cat and then the same syntax. So it will first filter out based upon the where clause from this whole list, the resultant list of items which are there. It will then group them by the property that you have mentioned over here and then order them as mentioned over here. You can also filter by the actual cat count that you get. Maybe suppose over here you see getting the values of all of the items that are there. Maybe you don't want them. Maybe you want only the cat counts where the cat count is maybe greater than 1. So how do we do this? To do this, what we can do is we can use the having clause. This comes after the group by clause, and this works on the properties which are present after the aggregation is done. Take, for example, count star is something which is present after the aggregation is completed, and over here you would see that I'm not showing the properties which are there which have value of 1 in the count. It's only giving me values which are greater than 1. If you have a lot of aggregations based upon a certain property, you might want to use this. Similarly, other aggregation properties you can use. Take, for example, I would be giving us example with sum. So you can do select cat sum t as cat count from temp group by cat order by cat count. What this will do, it will select specific categories, take all of those line items and sum up the values inside t. Example, all of the values which are corresponding, which have cat corresponding to D would be summed up. It's 4 over here. For E, it's 5. For C, it's 13. For A and B, that it is these specific numbers meant as mentioned over here. As you could see, also something interesting to note over here, that if you do select count star from temp, you would get all of the line items. Maybe you wanted only to see how many distinct items are there in category. That is, if you do select star from temp, as you can see, a few properties are repeated. Maybe you want a count of how many distinct values are there in the cat column. How would you do this? You could do select count bracket distinct cat from temp. As you will see, at number 5 came up over here, which means there is only distinct 5 values inside cat. You can also see it using select distinct cat from temp. As you can see, these are the distinct values. To get the count, you can use a query like this. These are few basic operations with respect to aggregations in Postgres, as I have shown you over here. Thank you.